Hi there, I'm Katie Payne from Hideaway Church, and I'm here today to talk to you about Advent. Now, some of you may be really familiar with Advent because maybe it's something that you've practiced in your denomination or your background that you came from. But for some of you, maybe it's a new idea. And so we want to talk just a little bit about what that even is. Advent actually means coming to. So it's just the season of time leading up to Christmas, leading up to December 25th, that we really focus and anticipate Christ's birth and his arrival. So Advent starts 4 Sundays before Christmas. So if you look at the calendar, it's always the first Sunday after November the 30th. So this year, the first day of Advent is December 3rd, which is a week from today. So there'll be 4 Sundays, and the 4th Sunday of Advent is December 24th, which is actually Christmas Eve this year. So the thing that's neat about Advent is that it doesn't just focus on the New Testament and Jesus' birth, but it gives you an overall picture of how we can see Christ throughout the whole Bible, because it starts in the Old Testament. And you can read readings and study about the prophecies that help us to anticipate Christ's arrival, just like were prophesied then. So you may wonder, okay, well, do I need to celebrate Advent, or what do I do? Well, Advent isn't something that's required. It's not something that our church is telling you you need to do, or that even is outlined in the Bible as something that you should do. But it is a way to prepare for and to anticipate Christ's coming. Now, the way I see it, there are 2 reasons that you might choose to celebrate Advent. The first is the reason that I'm choosing to exercise some of the parts of Advent this year. December is such a busy time. There are so many things that are added to my plate and that make the season really crowded in. And so for me this year, I'm choosing to do a study each day where I will set aside time to focus on Jesus. And I feel like if I can't focus on Jesus and prioritize him during this season, there's not really anything to celebrate. So I'm choosing to focus on him. Maybe you're not busy though. Maybe you're actually feeling like you're not looking forward to this season because it's going to be hard. Maybe some things have happened this year, or you're just in a tough situation and you're really not looking forward to December. Well, maybe celebrating Advent will be the thing that you can add to this season that will bring you joy. Maybe there's one thing that we talk about today that you could see incorporating into your December that would really add some joy to this month. So now let's talk about, if you do want to celebrate Advent, what can you do? Well, there's no set rules or requirements about this is how you do it and you have to follow these steps, but there are several different ways that you might choose to participate in Advent. First of all is an Advent calendar. This is probably the thing that you've seen the most. Lots of times they're just numbered 1 through 25 for the 25 days of December, so they don't necessarily follow the exact calendar of Advent, but they are used as a way to count down to Christmas and anticipate Christ's arrival. Some of them have scripture, some of them have candy. They're done all different ways, and you can find one of those if you want to use an Advent calendar. Another thing that you can do is there are either daily or weekly scripture readings that go along with Advent and follow the timeline for each week or each day, depending on how it's broken down. We are providing you with some links to some resources that you can find on this post that will show you some places online that you could look if you wanted to find something on the internet, or some links to some things that you could go buy at the bookstore or you could order online, depending on how in-depth study you want to do and how much time you want to commit to it. Another way to celebrate and participate in Advent is through Advent candles. And this is something that I haven't done before, but I'm planning to do this year. There are usually 4 or 5 Advent candles. The 4 candles, you light one for each of the weeks of Advent. And so by the 4th week, you have all 4 candles lit. And then there's a 5th candle that you can use that's called the Christ candle. And you light that candle either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So you can do 4 or 5 candles. Sometimes they, in some traditions, they're a particular color, like purple and then pink, but it really doesn't matter what color the candles are or if they're just regular Christmas candles. I'm planning to use candles like this and put them in my windowsill in the kitchen where I will see them. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to have candles and how you want to do that. Now, do you remember when you were a child how you looked forward to Christmas and how you would count down the days between once December got there? Or the way that you would sit and watch out the window when you knew your grandparents were about to arrive? Take that wonder and that anticipation, and we don't really have that much anymore. But as an adult, if you choose to participate in Advent, it's a way to restore that wonder in anticipation about Christmas and Christ's arrival here on earth. And it's also representative of his second coming, the second Advent that we'll have when he returns for us the second time. So, feel free to look at the resources that are available here and see if you want to participate in Advent this year. And then join me again next week where we'll light the first Advent candle and talk about the first week of Advent.